Good afternoon. I hope you are having a great Tuesday. The time now is 12:30. I'm Julie Broughton. This is Take 6. We're so happy you're spending a little bit of time with us this afternoon to get all caught up on your news and weather headlines. Our big weather story continues to be the heat and the dry weather, which means we do have that elevated threat of fire. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll take a look ahead to the weekend and your next 7 days and tell you when we may be able to squeeze out a few isolated showers. Unfortunately, we don't have any significant rain in the forecast. Also, technically, it's spring. I know it feels like summer, but a lot of you may be into purging and cleaning. We tend to do that this time of year. News 6 morning anchor and insider guide Crystal Moyer will be here, and she will have some tips on some cleaning products you might want to add to your rotation. But first, the latest on a story we've been following for about a year. It was supposed to be an affordable place to live, but now people are being priced out of their mobile homes. They say corporations are buying land and then raising the rent prices, and then the people who own those mobile homes then can't afford to live there. News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden has been following this, and he found out there is help, but more needs to be done.
It went from affordable to unsustainable.
People are on a budget, as well as myself.
Jody Hager's lot rent nearly doubling in 2 years. She started off paying around $480 a month, and soon she'll be paying $850.
Are they giving a reason for the increases?
No, just because they can do it, because there's no cap saying they can and can't.
Hager lives at the Spanish Village, a 55 and up mobile home community in Leesburg.
People are putting their houses for sale because they just can't afford it. They're on a fixed income, they're on Social Security, Medicare, and small retirements if they have any retirement at all.
Philip Roy is the HOA president. He told News 6 out of the 36 homes for sale in the community, 32 were put on the market because the owners can't afford the rent. Last July, a new law took effect giving mobile homeowners and park owners the option to go to mediation over lot rent disputes. Under the legislation, civil action cannot be taken until the dispute has been submitted to mediation.
I do think that it has resonated across the state now. I think a lot of the other state reps have seen what's been going on.
State Representative Paula Stark, who represents part of Osceola County, helped draft the bill. If passed, House Bill 701 would allow them to apply for lot rent assistance from their local government. Can you ever see a situation where Florida's legislature puts maybe a cap on how much it can increase in 1 year?
You really don't hear that being part of the solution, but I'm not going to say to you that that can't be part of the solution.
Lewis Bolden, News 6.
All right, joining us now to talk more about this is News 6 investigative producer Erica Bergoglio. Erica, we're excited to have you here. I know one time, probably about 2 years ago, you were on Take 6, so now it's your second appearance.
Yeah, you don't find me on camera much, but it's always good to join you, Julie. And this is an issue that we've been getting so many viewer messages on, so we definitely wanted to do an update on that.
Yeah, and it's an important update. And you mentioned also that we don't see you on camera a lot, but we see a lot of your work on camera. You're working with the investigators, you're working with the anchors, helping not only wrangle us, but helping put these stories together. So for folks who may not know what an investigative producer does, why don't you give us a lay of the land of your day? I know no day is the same.
You're right about that. But I can tell you for the most part, a lot of my day is going through tips you, our viewers, send in and vetting those, doing research. I'm on the phone a lot. I'm on email a lot. And sometimes you'll see me, if you're ever out on a shoot with us, you'll see me off to the side, off camera, trying to set up, produce, write those stories as well.
Yes, you're making sure it all gets what needs to be done. And talking about this story, I know that we've covered this before, and you and Lewis have done some stories on this before, and a lot of people have said, like, okay, so you own your home, you rent the land. If you can't afford the price of the land rent anymore, why don't you just move your home? And that's not always such an easy option.
No, and especially in Florida now, we're seeing these lot rents skyrocket everywhere. You have these corporations coming in, buying up these mom and pop communities and jacking up the lot rent. So a lot of these people who can't afford this, they're being forced back to states where the rent's a lot cheaper, or they're moving in with their kids. So it's not really an easy solution to this problem.
And you talked a little bit in the story about mediation, about how that's an option. And when you first hear that, you think, okay, well, this could be a great resolution for everyone, but it's not quite as simple as it might sound just at the surface.
No, and I think the thing with mediation is you need both parties to come together. And unfortunately, Representative Stark was telling us is that that's not the case. A lot of these park owners and these businesses are finding a way out of mediation. So these homeowners can't even bring that to the table. So she's actually working with a state agency to try to figure out how they're getting around this and if they need to strengthen the legislation and find a way to avoid these loopholes.
And, you know, when you said that a lot of these people are forced to move out of state or moving in with family members, you know, it's so sad. They have these homes that they worked hard to buy, and then, you know, maybe they didn't even think about the possibility of the rent on their land going up so much that would price them out of what they, I'm sure, imagine they would get to stay in forever, especially in those 55 and up communities.
I mean, these are people who chose this place for a reason, because it was affordable. A lot of these people we've spoken with, they're on Social Security. They don't have more income coming in. So it's pretty much their rent, their medication, and their groceries. And a lot of that money is going toward their lot rent. And then some of these people, we spoke with the HOA president in that community, and he says, I'm not only paying for my lot rent, I'm paying my mortgage on my home as well. So you have multiple payments going into this.
Yeah. You mentioned at the top that you spend a lot of time on email going through tips. So if somebody has a story or something that they'd like the investigators to help out with, where can they reach you or where should they send that?
If you want to reach me directly, I go through our results desk messages. So if you go to clickorlando.com, click the contact us, and on the top of the homepage, and you'll find an option to reach out to our results desk. And that's a good way to communicate with me as well as other people in our newsroom.
Wonderful. Well, Erica Bulio, thank you so much for talking to us today. I know that, you know, maybe it's not your favorite thing to do, but it's kind of thrilling to me. So I like seeing your face on camera.
My biggest fan. Thank you.
Always. Thank you, Erica. And you can see more of Lewis's reports on clickorlando.com. Just go to the investigators tab and you can watch that story again if you would like. The Department of Education is set to resume collections on student loans that have gone into a default starting on May 5th, so that is about 2 weeks from now. According to the department, more than 5 million borrowers are in default and 4 million more could be in the same position in a few months. Now, for those who are behind on their payments, that could mean your wages could be garnished or money withheld from tax refunds and Social Security benefits. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says those borrowers need to pay attention.
All of the people in default, we are now seeing reporting to credit agencies. We haven't seen that before. Wow. So we now know that credit scores are dropping for these borrowers by somewhere around 130 points.
And again, those collections will resume on May 5th. The Department of Education, yes, says less than 40% of borrowers are current on their student loan payments. The world's 1.3 billion Catholics will have the opportunity to pay their final respects to Pope Francis as his body is set to be brought to St. Peter's Basilica for a public viewing tomorrow. A solemn service will be held for the pontiff on Saturday, but CBS News' Tony Ayellos reports that the process to choose his successor is already underway.
Catholic cardinals are gathering at the Vatican to finalize plans to honor Pope Francis and eventually choose his successor. Senior clergy and Vatican officials paid their respects to Francis Tuesday during an intimate service at the Santa Marta Hotel, where he laid in a coffin, adorned in a red robe and papal mitre. The first images of the late pontiff came on the same day Vatican officials announced his funeral will be held Saturday in St. Peter's Square.
There is a sense of a void that is somehow going to have to be filled. But coupled with that immediately is also the intrigue of what comes next.
The 88-year-old who died Easter Monday after a stroke that caused heart failure left behind specific instructions for a simple burial at Rome's Basilica of St. Mary Major with a one-word inscription on his tomb, Franciscus, his name in Latin. There will be chanting in Latin as Pope Francis's body is moved in a solemn procession on Wednesday from Santa Marta to St. Peter's Basilica, where he will lie in state until the funeral and burial.
Pope Francis almost had like a radar for people who were left behind.
CBS Evening News co-anchor Maurice Dubois spoke with Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who was part of the conclave that selected Pope Francis 12 years ago.
They're going to see some mourning, they're going to see some gratitude, they're going to see some hope, and then they're going to see people say we need to get to work.
The Cardinals will be choosing a date after Saturday's funeral to begin their conclave to elect the church's next leader. Tony Aiello, CBS News, Rome.
Today, we need your help to get results. For Harbor House, we are hosting a phone bank for Paws for Peace to help Harbor House provide veterinary care for the animals of domestic abuse survivors. The walk is this Saturday, and you can tell by this video, this is from previous years. It is a great time. It is at Blue Jacket Park in Baldwin Park. All the money raised goes to help support their shelter they have there for animals. So if domestic abuse survivors leave their situation, they can take their pets with them, and they provide all of that care. And we know how important it is for people to be able to heal and recover with their furry family members. So we would love for you to join us at that walk this weekend. Again, that is this Saturday at Blue Jacket Park in Baldwin Park. And you can also scan this QR code to donate online or call into the phone bank at 888-436-6665. I can't recall how many, probably dozens of times I've said that phone number in the last 15 years. Our phone bank will run from 4 to 7 o'clock this evening, so be sure to call in. We'll be covering it throughout our afternoon newscast, and it's exciting because some people bring their pets to the phone bank, so it's a really big day, not only for us to get results for all of those domestic abuse survivors and their pets, but to get to show you some cute dogs on TV as well. Again, that walk is this Saturday at Blue Jacket Park in Baldwin Park. The weather should hold up well for it, although we'll be on the warm side, so make sure you bring plenty of water for your pets if you're heading out to that. We will have a full check of your forecast and tell you about our next best chance of rain coming up in just a few minutes. Stay with us. We're back in 2 minutes.
It's that time again for spring. It's that time again for spring cleaning, and a good cleaning product really does make a difference, right? But with so many options, how do we know which ones do the trick? I'm News 6 anchor Crystal Moyer, and in today's Insider, Consumer Reports is revealing its best tested household cleaning products.
Over the last year, Consumer Reports experts put dozens of cleaning products to the test in real-life situations.
We were looking to find effective and versatile cleaners that are also gentle on surfaces and that don't contain irritating or harsh ingredients.
Looking to streamline your cleaning arsenal? Consumer Reports says Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day Multi-Surface Concentrate is a great choice for many surfaces and messes.
The beauty of choosing a concentrated cleaner is that it can replace nearly all of your other cleaners while offering an efficient way of cutting down on plastic and landfill waste.
A concentrate isn't as convenient for quick everyday cleanup like wiping down kitchen counters. Instead, consider this Mr. Clean Clean Freak multi-purpose cleaner. It handled greasy stovetop oil, sticky maple syrup, and everything in between. For tougher jobs that need extra scrubbing power, Consumer Reports suggests keeping a powder cleanser on hand. Among 4 tested powders, Boname's scratch-free powder cleanser stood out as a safe and effective choice for most surfaces. Sometimes you need more targeted cleaning. The Goo Gone Grout and Tile Cleaner delivered noticeable differences on dirty grout.
Our evaluators commented on the Goo Gone scent because unlike many grout cleaners, it was mild and pleasant.
When it comes to glass, Spray Away Glass Cleaner delivered outstanding results on mirrors and windows.
It is Earth Day, so this tip is fitting. Instead of using these paper towels, go ahead and use washable microfiber cloths or cotton towels. It'll save money and the planet. I posted more of Consumer Reports' top tested household cleaners on clickorlando.com/insider. Crystal Moyer, News 6.
Okay, I love all the Mrs. Meyer's products, so I feel really vindicated that Consumer Reports actually recommended something that I use. Orange County Public Schools are seeing a decrease in student enrollment, and the problem is expected to worsen in the coming years. The district is now looking into if they need a consultant and to allocate money to hire a recruiter to bring students back to the district. News 6's Angie Quesada shows us why they think this might be a good move.
Yeah, for every student lost to private or virtual school, the district says that they're losing state money. And right now, Orange County says that any of those students making those moves could cost them tens of millions of dollars. So board members are set to decide today on this new student recruitment proposal to try and change that.
Orange County Public Schools is trying to win students back, and they're willing to pay for it. This afternoon, the school board will vote on whether to hire a private consultant to recruit families who left the district for charter, private, or homeschool options. The vendor would be paid $935 for every student they bring back. That's nearly $1 million if just 1,000 students re-enroll.
So we've seen a decline in enrollment over the last several years, in part due to COVID, and then in large part due to the taxpayer-funded scholarships. So what we're trying to do is just to market OCPS, to put out all the good things that we're doing with OCPS, and to show them that OCPS is a great choice for your student.
District leaders say changing demographics and an increase in state-backed private school scholarships are behind a projected loss of more than 3,000 students. And this isn't just an Orange County issue. Volusia County is staring down a $25.8 million deficit this year tied to declining enrollment. If fewer students return, it could mean less state funding and tough decisions down the road.
And I think you'll see a lot of firsts coming from Orange County Public Schools because, again, in order to survive, we're going to have to be innovative and creative and be engaging with our students to make sure that they stay enrolled in Orange County Public Schools because there is so much choice that they have out there, and we have to be able to compete.
If approved, the recruitment work would start later this spring. Of course, we'll let you know what they decide in tonight's meeting. That meeting is set for 4 to 5 p.m. tonight. Reporting in Orange County, Angie Quesada, News 6.
And we will be following that story for you throughout the afternoon, let you know on air and online what is decided. Let's get to your forecast now, where the heat and the dry weather, that has been our main weather headline for the last several days, and that is not going to change. Let's start you out with a look at the radar, where we are scanning out, finding no rain to track, so that is not a surprise. We are keeping our chance of rain less than 10% as we roll through the rest of this week. Fire danger index for today is high or moderate in every single county. That means that we are looking at the potential that brush fires could start pretty easily. We saw that yesterday. We'll continue to see probably more brush fires sparking as we head through the day today, unfortunately. Satellite and radar imagery, notice a little bit more moisture streaming in from the Gulf. We talked about this yesterday, that we would see more cloud cover, especially for the first part of the day today, and that part of the forecast definitely has verified. We were also mild overnight. 64 was our low this morning in Orlando. Palm Coast, you dipped into the 50s. 59 was your low. Started the day at 68 in Leesburg. 63 was the low in Melbourne. Now, right now, we're sitting right around 80 degrees in most spots, 78 in Leesburg, 81 in New Smyrna Beach. You're at 83 in Cocoa Beach, and 79 if you are in Ocala. Winds are generally coming out of the southeast today, so a little bit of a sea breeze, but our winds are shifting a bit more to the south, and that's going to continue to kick those temperatures up for us. Clouds on rain forecast for today. We will continue to keep some cloud cover in the picture. Stopping the clock for you at 7 o'clock tonight. We'll see a sea breeze, but again, that sea breeze won't be able to produce any showers for us, but you can see that moving across the peninsula, and we'll keep skies partly cloudy, even a bit overcast at times as we head through the day today and into the overnight hours. For today, we go to 91 in the Villages, 89 in Orlando, and a little bit cooler along the coast thanks to the onshore component to our winds. Here's how it looks for the next 7 days. Highs hover right around 90. Remember, the normal high this time of year is right around 84, 85 degrees. We go to 90 tomorrow, 88 on Thursday, and then back in the low 90s this weekend. We're watching a front that will drop into the area Sunday into Monday. I was just looking at some of the latest model runs. Moisture doesn't look too prevalent with this front, but we'll keep a 20% chance of showers around for Sunday and Monday, and overnight lows stay in the upper 60s and low 70s. We will talk more about your forecast and a whole lot more detail starting this afternoon on News 6 at 4. We're so happy you spent some time with us today here on Take 6. If you have any questions or comments for us, head to clickorlando.com/take6. Let us know what's on your mind. We always love to hear from you. Thanks again for stopping by, and I will see you on TV at 4.